So it's now Thursday evening, actually. The beginning part of this video was Wednesday night, working on getting the engine back installed in the truck. And we got it in there, and it's in, everything's hooked up, all that stuff, but we just couldn't get it to start. I was out here trying to get it started by myself, so I went and asked my wife to help me out. She came out to hit the key while I watched the timing light, but I wasn't getting any flashing coming from the timing light. So I thought, well, that's kind of weird. And sometimes when you leave the timing light plugged in on the battery for a while, it'll do that. So I unplugged it and plugged it back in, and nothing. Tried all the wires on there, and I wasn't getting any light out of the timing light. And I thought, well, that's kind of funny. So I just tried spinning the distributor while she was cranking it, and nothing was happening. So I was like, okay, well, that's real odd. I'm guessing that means that there truly is no spark getting to the spark plugs. So I took the cap off of the rotor of the distributor, and just to make sure that the little spring on the center of the rotor was making a connection with the coil where it comes in at the top of the cap, and it was. So I was okay, put it back, and had her crank it again. And still no flashing coming over the timing light, but it did fire a little bit, and then it quit. So I'm assuming there's something wrong with the ignition coil on top of the distributor, but the plug wires are the plug wires that came with the truck. I don't know how old they are. I assume that they're probably new when the engine was replaced refreshed in 2008. So they're quite old. When I was putting the number 8 spark plug wire on, I looked down in the boot and noticed that there was some rust on the end of the connectors in there. So we're going to do new plug wires. I've already got new plugs in it. We're going to do new plug wires and a new distributor. So hopefully that'll fix everything. But I was quite frustrated, honestly. Everything else went together fairly simple. There were a couple things that were more frustrating than others, but all in all, it went fairly smoothly. And then to have no spark after it had been running a couple of days ago, it's frustrating. But I mean, it does happen. You know, that coils and distributor's quite old, so you know, it was probably time for a new one. I was just really hoping that I wasn't going to have to get a new one, that we could just make this one work for a while, but obviously not the case. So yeah, we're getting a new one. Should be here tomorrow, Friday, and we'll get that in and all that stuff situated, set up, reset the timing. We're going to pull the valve cover off to make sure that we're at top dead center on cylinder number 1 according to the timing mark, and having both of the intake and the exhaust valves closed, just to make sure that we're where we need to be before we put the new distributor down in there. And then new plug wires, obviously, and hopefully we should have fire tomorrow, but that'll come out in a video on a later date, because this video is going to come out Friday morning, and technically most of it was recorded Wednesday. So we're a couple days behind recording to when we actually put the videos out. But anyhow, hopefully by Saturday this thing should be running and driving around again. It needs a little adjustment on the shift linkage, because when you put it into park, it's not going all the way into park, so the parking brake pawl is not engaging inside the transmission, so you can just push the truck around. Not great. So I gotta try and get some penetrant on the threads for that adjustment. There's a little nut, a bolt actually, I think it is, that clamps on part of because it's all solid shift linkage. Anyway, so that's just got to be adjusted a little bit. What else? It needs transmission fluid, because we had a transmission fluid leak. When I took the engine out, one of the lines cracked and dripped probably about a quart to a quart and a half on the floor, and it was already just a little low. So we got to put probably like 2.5 to 3 quarts of transmission fluid in it, and then it needs some water in it. Probably just going to run water for right now, and then do coolant by next winter. Make sure or antifreeze by next winter. Make sure we get it swapped over. But anyhow, that's what's going on with this. I was very frustrated, and I wanted to make sure that I recorded that because a lot of times you see online people working on their stuff and they have no problems, and that just kind of discourages you when you're having problems on your own stuff. So if you're having trouble with your vehicles, you're not the only one. Everybody has issues, one thing or another. So anyhow, hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. If you're not subscribed, please do so. It helps me out. And yeah, have a good day.